Regardless, Prometheus has completed the first step of our agreement. I must thank you for that. Then, Mr. Shariak, you're responsible for the second step. When can you begin? What's the hurry? Before incorporating uncertain factors from other universes, we must make sure that the holy city is more stable than before, no? I agree, but it doesn't obstruct the progress of our plan. That template is of utmost importance to me. Don't worry, I'm already preparing for it. I'm great at guiding things within dreams into spatial rifts. Who knows? You might have a chance to meet the template soon. That's good, then. But she's not as amicable as the both of us. It'd be as difficult as confronting two people. Should I give you some information beforehand? Of course. Please do. Leave it to me. After all, we, Miss Sela Volire, are pretty much old friends. That was our experience after leaving the real world. The mechanical girl finished her long explanation in a detached manner, as usual. Of course, she omitted some details that the other party shouldn't know for now. I didn't think that Project Stigma would create so many side effects. Abnormal stigmata born from Project Stigma are appearing in bubble universes. I need to note this down and organize it. You guys are really working hard to clean up the mess Project Stigma made. Don't stay silent. Didn't you leave out something important? Strictly speaking, my narrative doesn't cover all the details of our journey. But aside from what Miss Stell intentionally hid, I've already told you everything I could. If you want to push the responsibility to that so-called Shariak, my impression of you would only get worse. You mean that she's still hiding something? Of course. After all that, you glossed over the most important matter. The mechanical girl thought. As expected of an ex-A rank Valkyrie from Shixal, she's far more perceptive. She even began to think of how she could stop her barrage of questions, but Shigure's question was beyond what she could imagine. You haven't apologized for ambushing and tossing me into the Sea of Quanta. I thought that happened because you heard the sage's oracle. Thanks to the both of you, I drifted outside for a few weeks. Even as an experienced drifter, it was hard to get back here after being forcefully ejected. I was stuck in the salt field outside the door when I returned too. I had to start a fire by myself. I'm not a salty person, but if I didn't meet Sela and the rest, I would have been marinated by salt. Don't laugh, Susanna. Sorry, Senpai. Anyway, I went through so much. Why did you gloss over it like it's nothing? Don't you have any conscience? Because, to Miss Dahl, that really is nothing. Even as a robot, she could not give such a heartless answer. I'm not responsible for Miss Dahl's actions after all. If you really want an apology, I'll display an amicable attitude in her stead for now and let you know when she appears again. So you admit that you're in the wrong. suddenly appearing, tossing me out into what looks like a fissure. That woman's responsible for all that. That is Miss Dao's ability indeed. Fissure, sea of quanta, of course, the seeds of idea that appeared in the real world too. Prometheus realized that she had been tricked. She had only remembered then that acting was a basic skill of an idol. What's wrong, Sila? Did you remember something? What's a seed of idea? We encountered some seeds of idea before we were forced to come to this bubble universe. Miss Dao is probably the only one who can control those monsters. In that case, Ch37, you mentioned the ability to throw people into the sea of quanta via fissure. That might be why we appeared here. Really? What exactly happened? Is she playing dumb, or is this entirely a coincidence? Either way, it doesn't change the fact that I had let my guard down just now. The mechanical girl realized how scary the idol and Valkyrie were. Alright, Miss Dao might not be happy about this, but I think this is something I can't hide. I'll admit this in her stead. She had been observing all of you in the real world, and slowly lured you all into this bubble universe. So that fissure I repeatedly saw in Nagazora, that's her power. That's one of the ways to enter a dream, but not every fissure is meant to take you away. It takes many attempts to open a stable passage after all. And the most stable passage is, yes, the last place the Great Serpent led you to. He seemingly noticed the existence of that power and took advantage of it to escape your pursuit. But in reality, Miss Dao was the one making use of him to bait you into this trap. And after using him, you... I'm not sure about that. You'll have to ask Miss Dao for the details. Sila, she won't give you an answer outright. That woman will push anything she can explain to Miss Dao. But at least up until now, she probably hasn't lied to us. Since Miss Dao is the one who pulled us into this bubble universe, is she also the one who took her away? The topic changed abruptly, but Prometheus knew who her referred to. It was obvious what Sila was most concerned about now, and it was reasonable for them to be suspicious of Miss Dao. I can't explain it clearly, but I can correct some of your perspectives. Miss Dao did not take her anywhere this time. Accurately speaking, she didn't do so the previous time either. But in both instances, you were all in a special space because the external rules and these bubble universes were too unique. That's why she was temporarily separated from you. And in the second instance, it was not Miss Dao who deliberately approached her. You mean that someone else chose to approach her? The mechanical girl did not reply, but she naturally looked toward the tower behind her. I see. It's the sage. The sage took the other Sila away? It's reasonable to consider the sage as the mastermind, seeing that Hare and Miss Dao are working for her now. And Miss Prometheus, if you really didn't lie to us at all from the beginning, your silence now is the most direct confession. I didn't say anything. But according to her, at least we're sure that the other Sila is safe, right? Now we just have to find the sage to get to the other Sila. Thank you, Prometheus. Considering her own objective, Prometheus did not speak more about that interaction. The failed attempt then was simply an interlude. Hey, Susanna, don't just listen to her single-mindedly. She says so much, but she hasn't told us where the other Scylla is. South No Holy City is huge. If we had to check every house at a time, we won't ever see the end of it, even if Vita leads the way. Do you need something, Kira? Oh, Vita, when did you return? When everyone was discussing about the Sigma, Vita felt bored and left to do something else. Although she did not have any faith for the sage, she wasn't interested in learning about dull, otherworldly knowledge either. But she was an impatient girl after all, so soon enough, she came back quietly. But you guys have been talking for a long time, so I'm back to make sure I'm not missing out. So you said that you need me to lead the way to find something. We're not looking for someone yet. We're discussing where the sage could have hid Scylla. There's only one place possible. Did I tell you guys? The sage can't leave the tower. She might have came out to personally resolve some conflict in the past, but now Prometheus over here is taking over that job. Today the sage doesn't leave the tower at all. Is that true, Miss Prometheus? Yeah. At least I haven't seen her outside the tower in the past few weeks. Then the other Scylla is there. Scylla looked in the direction that Susanna pointed at and saw the tower ahead. Cold, clean, and foreign. Most importantly, she could not feel anything now. Scylla. Yes, she's not here. This was the first time that they had completely separated from one another, and she could not refer to her past experiences for help. But strangely, the girl was sure of something. Scylla isn't in the tower, but she's made contact with the sage. A place where the sage has been, but it's not in the tower. Could it be? Miss Prometheus. Yes, what is it? When you answered questions, you said I'm separated from her due to how unique the structure of these bubble universes are. But back on the moon, we weren't separated by a bubble universe, and you're aware of it. If you said so subconsciously, could this place be more than one bubble universe? The girl was certain of what she wanted to convey. She believes that in here, two bubble universes exist in the same time. Although it's theoretically possible, but if another different universe was to overlap and coexist, those residents should have noticed. This must be it. That's the underworld, isn't it? It's not a legend, but a universe that truly exists. The sage cannot leave the tower, but she has the power to allow her to traverse between the worlds of the living and the dead, so she isn't restricted to the tower, but the tower and the underworld. She met Scylla in the so-called underworld, right? Keeping silent couldn't help, as it would mean agreement. Knowing that, Prometheus sighed. Any further information shouldn't come from me. Since you've already thought so far ahead, why don't you meet the sage for yourselves and talk to her? As she spoke, she moved to open the way. Really? The great sage is going to meet us in the tower. She didn't say that we can't bring anyone in. I'll introduce all of you to her now, and I want to get back to the plaza soon. I still have work to do. You're right. If we can talk directly to the sage, we can ascertain if the other Sila is in the underworld. What's wrong, Sila? Is something the issue? We can't go now. Why? I can't trust this fellow. They always trick me once. They can do it again. That was Mistel acting arbitrarily. But it sounds like the two of you share the same values. Who knows if Mistel sent you here to bring us into the tower and then use us for a bunch of weird reasons. Do you have any questions? Resident number 00457. I've never heard of the sage meeting others in the tower. Why? I haven't informed her indeed, but I don't think she'll turn you down. As I've said, the sage is very interested in all of you. What do you think, Sila? In the end, it's your choice to make. I think that Miss Prometheus doesn't hold any bad intentions, but I don't intend to enter the tower recklessly. I'm already used to humans contradicting their words with their actions, but I still wish to know why. I'm really sorry. I believe that you invited us out of goodwill, but as you mentioned, your opinion doesn't represent Mistel's and doesn't necessarily represent the sage's either. I just want to find Sila as soon as possible. We can't risk being thrown back into the Sea of Quanta for weeks, like Ch37. Then, what can I do to assure you? The sage definitely cannot leave the tower, especially in recent times. While I can't tell you the reason in front of such a crowd, I really recommend that you visit her. Do you think that you sound convincing? I see. I guess the stars have yet to align. I understand. Sila, watch out! These are mechas that help manage the holy city. Vita, stay behind me. Sila, Susanna, prepare for battle. There wasn't a trace of them earlier. Where did these mechas come from? They could only have come from the tower. They were originally in there. As expected, the invitation to the tower was a trap after all. But Prometheus, she also seemed... Luckily, there weren't that many. I've gotten used to seeing these crabs over a decade ago. They're still useless. Over a decade ago? Oh right, Squall Snow Wolf is that old. Ch37, I've been wanting to ask. You and Siegfried should have... So where did the robot head run off to? She disappeared when the battle began. Maybe she went hiding in the tower. But why did she attack us? It's happened once. It can happen twice. I say it's their usual trick. but we could communicate normally until the last second. Prometheus values efficiency, but isn't much of a fighter, and somehow I feel she was shocked too. She fought us because she couldn't fool us, or the woman behind her got tired of waiting and took a bite without warning her. When she shows up, I have a score to settle. Everyone, wait! Due to the commotion, the citizens are coming our way. As outsiders, you better leave now, or you might get in trouble. You're right. Let's discuss our next move somewhere else. Meanwhile, in another dark world. Hey, why are you staring at me? There's nothing on my face. Yeah, and it's not just your face. You're almost disappearing into nothing. Are you itching for a fight? No guts to speak now. You have to pay for what you did. Come here. Stop wasting your energy. Right now, our punches will be nothing more than a gust of air. If you have the energy for meaningless fights, go bask in the moonlight instead. You were the one who provoked me first. Bask in the moonlight? Do you really believe in what those ghosts said? Only dead needs moonlight to sustain their bodies. If you bask in the moonlight, you're admitting that you're dead. If not, how else do you explain our current circumstances? Based on how fast we're turning transparent, we're going to disappear soon. I don't want that. If you think that your body is strong enough to create a miracle, continue waiting then. In Rome, do what the Romans do, no? Is that hard to accept? Do you really think that the urge of sentience fear disappearing? Alright, I'll go ahead. You and your sentience can stay here. If you're going, scram. A few moments later. I know you. You're the Hersh of Sentience follower, right? What? Call me that again, and I'll make sure you never get to reincarnation. I'm sorry, then what should I call you? We're all travelers. Just call me Sila. As for that fellow, you can call her Santi. Santi? That sounds a little disrespectful. Sorry, I got it, Miss Sila.